Okay. Hi, everybody. It's nice to see all your happy, smiling, fucking faces. It's almost 7 p.m. here in Minot, and it's been off and on between really hot weather and really stormy with like rain and stuff. That was such. I'm so tired. I have not been doing exactly super well these last few days. Not only have I not seen my therapist in weeks, but I also I haven't feel like I've been my super happy self quite of late, and I'm hoping to just try and figure it out on my own without my family noticing. I don't know how to say this. I'm not very good at staring in the camera. This is going to kind of be another venting session, so excuse me if I ramble or pause or start tearing up or sobbing. It's just, I need a vent. I have the house to myself, and I want to take this time to maybe talk about something that just recently happened. I don't know, with a lot of you out there that are outcast or the weird one in the family or the black sheep or anything else of the sort. You have moments in your family where there's fighting and you're standing right at the doorway, there's arguing, there's yelling outside your door, drunkards playing in the living room and blaring up everything, a screaming child also in the house, or the idea of hearing somebody have sex in another room. So yeah, that's moments in my dysfunctional family. Just last night, it was quite a long night last night, and I know getting up at like 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. is not exactly a good idea because, it fucks up your sleep cycle, you don't get enough sleep, you feel daisy, woozy, cranky, just fucking exhausted. For me, it's any time between 1 a.m. to about 5 a.m. That's probably my time that I need to be sleeping or either getting up and getting ready. Now, since school's pretty much over, I'll have the rest of the time to be working on some art stuff or some writing stuff, or staying up late watching YouTube channels like this. Anyway, hopefully most of you know, or if any of you have seen any of the vlogs, I don't know if I even did any of them on this. I know I've talked about many times about how my family frustrates me, makes me feel very alone, talks down to me like I'm stupid, because me still being the dyslexic person that I am, they think I'm retarded or some special child that is, let's say 6-year-old with a 29-year-old body. That's what I feel like they all treat me as, and it really sucks because I know I'm not that smart. I'm not college book smart, but at least I know a good chunk of things, like how to take care of myself and all that stuff. But it doesn't really help when I am the one in the other room, in the hallway, or in the living room, and my family ends up arguing or fighting, or there's one of my siblings happen to be high on drugs. Now, I haven't said this to my aunt or brother at all. That is a good high chance that my sister, who now finally came out of the women's institution, the women's jail or whatever, that she is back on her drugs. It's a quick way to make money. It's a way to hang out with all her friends and get high, and I'm not even step into the world of weed and getting high. That's another story that I just don't even want to touch right now. But it really upsets me when there's yelling like this, or when I end up hearing someone having sex in the other room, it's understandable if it's your parents because you're a kid and it freaks you the hell out and it's really gross sounding, but you end up passing out or end up, rocking yourself back and forth in the bathroom or something. But it really sucks when your family claim to be a very loving family, supportive and understanding, very weird and awkward, but very loving and caring and supportive. But that changes completely when I'm the one hearing them fight, voices raised so loud I can hear their anger, the tension, and the negativity radiate in my room or in my ears. And it really fucking sucks when I'm the one sensing that something is off with them and they're crying, they're arguing, they're raising their voices and yelling. I know my sister means really well somewhere in parts of her mind. I really feel like she can be a good mother if she just keep drugs out of her life. There's nothing wrong with having a few drinks or something like that. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you include drugs like meth or crack or heroin or any of those other ones, it doesn't help your life at all. Now, this is just from a stupid person, weird, awkward, black sheep of the family view. But I really don't like alcohol or drugs. I don't drink that much because I definitely feel like a good 80, maybe not 80, about 60, 70% of the time I control my drinking. I only have maybe about 3 bottles, but then that's it. Even if I take a bunch of shots in the center of it or in the middle of all of it, I feel dizzy. Sure, I start feeling really giggly and talkative, but then I also end up being quiet because I'm in front of family and I feel socially awkward. And I literally don't even want to say anything because I know if I end up saying something I shouldn't or saying stuff like this in front of my family, I will not hear the end of it. They will lecture me or yell at me because that's always the result that I get every time I try to be my naturally self around them. Just trust me on this. But what happened last night, my sister, I have, not excluding step siblings, I have 4 siblings, 2 older sisters, 2 brothers, and then there's me. I'm the baby of the family or whatever. I have 2 sisters. I guess they're never going to go on YouTube anytime anyway. Melissa, Michelle, Michael, and Matthew, and then me. We're all M's, unfortunately. Melissa has moved out. Of course, she's fucking up her life because she steals things, she yells, and all that stuff. That'll be another story for another time. But Michelle, I always liked a bit more because she accepted the weird. She accepted her Native American half. True, neither of us had the happiest of beginnings, but she still actually tried to hang out with her kids. Despite all the stress and the fuck-ups that she's done, she still tries and tries to learn from it. But this time, I think she hit an all-time low because I sort of can handle tough situations like maybe a burglary or someone getting up into my face and picking a fight. I've had a few instances like that in high school where these punk-ass girls decided to be funny to get in my face and probably push me and see if I can get mad. They got up in my face and told me, "Oh, bitch, why'd you call me last night? Bitch, why are you looking at my ass? Blah, 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 blah." And I don't react. I calmly say, "I'm not doing anything. I don't know what you're talking about. I know better than anything." So, now, usually in the past, any house that I seem to stay in, which I always feel like it's me that's causing it. There'll be house break-ins. Somebody from my sister's area that they got in bad mojo with end up somehow trying to break into the house, or it's my sister themselves, drunk and high on drugs, or in misery and depression, and perhaps bipolarism, that you just end up trying to break into the house to steal stuff. Now, I usually go to bed between about 9 to maybe 1 a.m. That's probably about the time I go to bed, usually. But this time, it was a whole lot different. I don't have the alarm set. School is pretty much over, relatively, besides the capstone, the last interview, and then walking in December. And then that's it. As soon as this capstone thing starts coming over, or getting over with, I'm going to start looking for a job. I hate to just I'm learning to not put myself to where I can't even fucking function. I've had many moments like that in school and in life, specifically with my family and with myself. I learned to not take too much onto my plate. So I thought one big thing at a time. So right now it's the capstone. And I have been having a very stressful last couple of days. So I decided to go to bed early the previous night. I went to bed probably around 8. And I went to bed, and then all of a sudden I kept thinking I was hearing like movement. I was like literally slowly actually going to sleep, probably around 9 or 10, and then I heard my aunt's voice, Kathy, radiating in the room. She's like, "Great, her and my brother are gonna have a drunken talk and hangout session in the apartment, and they're gonna be making a lot of noise. There's gonna be a bunch of drunken beer bottles all over the place for me to clean up." It is a pet peeve of mine, but I was like, Matthew needs it. He's kind of like me, where he bottles everything up, and doesn't think that he can trust anyone with his feelings. But again, like most guys, feelings are not manly. Feelings are not manly. You know, if I tell him I'm going to be too girl, I'm going to be too weak, I'm not going to be strong, blah, 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 blah. I find it quite... Never mind. I'm going to push that thought aside. No ranting around the Anyway, I was like, okay, whatever. I kind of went back to sleep and kind of ignored it. I tried to sleep. They were being really loud as usual, so I just slowly went to sleep. And then probably around 5:14 in the morning, I could have sworn I heard my name. So I was like, am I actually having a ghostly experience right now? Or is Kathy wandering around drunk? Or is it Melissa deciding to come over drunk and they're actually hanging out like a happy family, even though we aren't really anymore? And I kind of tried to roll over and ignore it because I was really fucking tired. I like my sleep because I'd have more bags than I usually do. So I kind of turned around, rolled over, and went back to sleep. And like a few minutes later, before it was even 5:15, I heard the name again. I thought I heard someone knocking at my door. It's like, is it Melissa or Matthew or Kathy? Someone wants me to help them with something, and I really was in a like grumpy, half asleep / maybe sleepwalking mood. It was just, I'm really disoriented when I get up this early. And I peeked out the door, and I could have sworn I saw my sister, because I saw the sweater, I saw the jeans. Whoever this person was pacing around the house. My mind was slowly starting to turn, like, there's an intruder. I can hear Kathy snoring in the bathroom. Matthew's passed out in the bedroom. I was like, either I need to call 911 or start ushering this person out the fucking door. And the closest thing was to the kitchen or weights in my room as a weapon. Then I started to notice, I was like, wait, it's not a stranger. It's not Melissa. It's Michelle. And I was like, she has been gone for almost 2 weeks now, most likely doing drugs or trying to get a job so she can take her kids away. kids that she has no right to be a mother in the first place. Anyway, so I kind of stood half asleep in the doorway, and she's like, Melinda, I need to find keys. I need to find keys to go check on my kids. I asked Kathy if she was home and the girls were okay, but she's not. She's sitting here fucking passed out in the bathroom drunk. So I'm like freaking out. I need to find the keys. And I was like, what keys? The van is broke. It's dead. The only car that here is Matthews or the Armada, and Matthews doesn't work. And I was thinking, she's not going to drive the Armada in whatever state she's in. And usually I can tell when someone's drunk because usually they're swaying. You know, I can smell the alcohol, and I didn't smell anything right now because I was really disoriented. And all of a sudden, she paces around, okay, why don't you, I need to find the keys. Do you see them? We need to find the keys. It's literally like she was tripping and freaking out to the max. I was like, oh, I don't know where the fucking keys are. I just want to go back to bed. And I didn't want to handle this. I was half tempted to go wake up Matthew. She was literally freaking out. She was pacing all the way to the kitchen, all the way to the living room. She was looking through stuff. She was looking through just all over the place. And she said, why don't you call or message Casey or whatever and see if the girls are at her house or they're actually at home. And I was like, I'm pretty sure they're at home and sleeping. Fancy's most likely awake, but I don't have her number. She's on Messenger, but I don't have her number because I'm pretty sure she doesn't have minutes. So I was like, I'm pretty sure Casey cannot access her Messenger super well. So I messaged like in a daze, like, yada, 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 are the kids there? And she's like, please don't tell Casey what's happening. I can't handle this, blah, blah, blah. And then after I couldn't get to text now because Casey, I don't think her phone's really fucked up. Probably most likely her fault since I've heard rumors that she cannot exactly keep up with the bill. That's over in the 800s, 900s area or whatever. Anyway, she rushes into my brother's room, which is kind of in an archway over there. And she starts kind of like sobbing, Matthew, can I use your phone? Where are the keys? I need to check on the girls. You know, she was raising her voice, ordering both me and Matthew around. And then all of a sudden, Matthew got up slowly in a daze. He's just as disoriented and grumpy as I am. And I was just standing at the doorway, totally fucking confused, worried, like all the bad stuff that I didn't want to see happening to my sister was happening now. And my empathy was slightly rising through the roofs, and as well as my anxiety, because I'm like, holy fuck, she's going to have an anxiety attack or another stroke, and I only know the 911 number, and that takes a little bit to open up in my text now thing. Or, you know, is there going to be a huge fight? Am I going to have to end up breaking my family members apart? I'm going to have to end up calling 911. I don't want to have to end up be yelling at my sister because I'm 29 and she's probably in her 30s. I don't want to have to battle against my sister when she has so much more experience with fighting. So I kind of just stood there waiting, and Matthew got up. He said, I didn't know where the keys are. So he went to go to the bathroom, opened the door, kind of woke Kathy up. I didn't hear what she was saying. I was literally half tired. She was like awake, like whoosh. And I was like this much awake, like very, what? That kind of awake. And I heard my aunt say, okay, I'll be out in a minute. And then my sister was muttering to herself. She was pacing again. She was flipping out more. Looks like she was about to cry. It was still really dark in the apartment, so I couldn't exactly see. All I saw was the baggy pants. It looked like a striped shirt. I didn't exactly see a pullover. Her hair was up. It didn't seem like she had any makeup on, but I wanted to take a look at her eyes because I think that's one of the symptoms you can tell if someone's on drugs, if their eyes are dilated or whatever. And, she says, oh, I need the keys. I want to go home. You told me this, you told me that. And my aunt's like, no, I didn't tell you. The girls are fine. they're sleeping at home. And so Matthew called the house phone, which is my aunt's farm in Sawyer, and apparently Fancy was up, and he asked, are you okay? Your mom's here. She wants to know if you're okay or if you're at Casey's. And I was surprised Matthew up and did that, because Michelle has not been home in weeks, most likely doing drugs. She's not keeping her end of the bargain, and she's being a terrible mom again. And I have some sense of what Fancy was feeling at that moment, and she said, yeah, fine, girls are sleeping, doors are locked, windows are locked, lights are turned off, etc., etc. And then all of a sudden, Sister freaked out again, and, there's interrupting, yelling, back and forth. And I was like, this is going to end up being a fight or an anxiety attack. It's going to be one of those two. And then my sister's like, can I just call Fancy again, even though Matthew just called her? And she's like, I want to make sure the girls are okay. Some shit that happened at the bar, someone told me they're going to come take my kids. And I was like, small chance that's actually happened. So it's all in your head, and what you're going through is with drugs, whatever, find a drug withdrawal, or you're on a high intense drug thing. And I think she admitted, it's like, I'm actually high right now. So I was like, that doesn't help your case at all either of what the fuck you're doing. And so she uses my aunt's phone. I think I wasn't paying attention. I was still half asleep. I wanted to go back to bed, but I wanted to make sure that whatever the fuck she was doing, that they didn't need my help. I'm a helpful person, I guess. And my sister actually called the house phone again. Fancy answered, and she's like, are you okay? The doors are locked. Can you go peek in the girls to make sure you at least see their hair or a foot? And then there's like a snappingness to my sister. She's like, fine, okay. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, they're going to have a mother-daughter fight as well. My anxiety was riding through the roof, and I was going to end up freaking out. I don't like yelling like this. I don't like family squabbles this intense, because I feel all of it. I feel my nervousness. I come so close many times to either packing some stuff and bolting out the door to anywhere else, or going into the bathroom and hiding, or going into my closet and just closing out the doors and literally rocking myself in the corner. There's been many times like that. Anyway, there's some more bickering and just back and forth. And then all of a sudden I hear a jingle of her purse. She gets up and she leaves, and she mentions something about an address. Melissa's not home at this and this and this. I couldn't be able to get a job at the women's workforce at this and this and this. And then that was pretty much fucking it. And then I think she actually left, and then it's like, before she left, she's like, please don't call the cops. Please don't call the cops. And after, like, certainly as she started walking and left, which way direction she went, my aunt went and called the cops. I hid in my room through the whole fucking time. I could not sleep. I was shaken. My anxiety was making me vibrate. That's how high my anxiety was with the shit that she pulled. And all of a sudden, my aunt was on the phone. It's like, she took off. She was tripping very much. I don't know if she was on drugs. She has not been home in a while. And then I heard the police officer coming. I literally did not see no lights. I didn't see no lights because I was frozen stiff on my bed, sitting upright, shaking like a leaf. And then after the police, they got his police card on the table there. And after they gave him all the information, he went to go look for her. And then he came back and said, we still didn't find her, but we'll keep an eye out for her. And my aunt said her her what is it called? Um, her officer something starts with a P. Uh, her officer was him. I'm not going to give out any names for that because that's more of a governmental issue. And I kind of after that I came out and stood, and my brother Matthew is the kind of brother that actually kind of cares about me. He can actually, I think he can sense my anxiety, and when I'm freaking out, I was standing there shaking, and I was trying to talk, and then my aunt was on the phone with the police or something like that, or talking to Fancy, and I could literally hear Fancy crying and bawling, and I knew my aunt was so drunk through all this. I could smell the poop and the puke in that bathroom, in my bathroom. I was like, please let it air out. Please let it air out. And I kind of need to go to the bathroom. I was trying to hold it in this whole damn time. And I was trying to tell him that I thought it was Melissa for the earliest time because I thought the door was always closed. Because after all the shit that Melissa pulled, we kind of were trying to be extra precautious. And before, like during Michelle's rampage, she said, your door's broken. There's something wrong with it. It's like it won't even lock. It wasn't locked. It's like someone literally broke it. And I was like, I don't know. It always looks broken, but yet somehow Matthew manages to lock it. So I don't know. This door is a little trippy. Anyway, I was really shaken. I was confused. And I thought to myself, I'm going to have a really hard time sleeping now because of this shit. And I literally stayed up till about, I don't know, literally stayed up to probably 6. And it was about 5. I stayed up and then I tried to sleep, so I was like nodding off. And I actually finally got up at 7 and go on from there. And I literally do not want to talk to her because my sister made it sound like she was literally going to get a ride, go all the way down to the house, check on the kids, and then pack up her kids and just take them and go. And my aunt pretty much said the same thing I was thinking. You know, you don't have guardianship, you're a bad mother, you're not going to go very far with them. And apparently now, before my aunt left this morning, that she never came. So after that, my aunt grabbed another 24-pack from her car, and they went and got drunk again, and she passed out in the toilet. And after a while, I had to spray that shit down with Febreze and air that fucking shit out. I've been dealing with my family's squabbles since I moved here, since the beginning of this year. I'm going to tell you that 2018 has not really been a super happy year for me. I thought I was going to actually gain some control over my happiness, over the negative thoughts in my head, and over my empathy a little bit, and it's been just slightly worse. And since my capstone stuff started, I haven't been able to see my therapist because I missed the first one because that was my fault. But I laid a reminder and told her, I said, I'm dealing with capstone stuff, and I'm actually trying to do some family things for the summer, but I'll let you know and try to get back into another appointment with you because I feel like I need to. And I've been dealing with shit from my aunt because she makes promises and she breaks them, and that's even more frustrating. My brother's his drinking is scaring me sometimes because I know us Native Americans have a drinking problem. That's not originally our fault. It's the Europeans, it's the settlers' fault for introducing it to us. So anyway, so yeah. And then just I've had a lot of moments I miss having actual conversations with my friends, and it feels like the times that I try, They just ignore it or they make a joke out of it. And I'm really tempted with Alistair. I'm just going to say this now, to have a final talk with her. I feel like she's on thin ice again. I'm getting really tired of this. I understand people have their own demons to take care of in their own life, and family moments, and trying to deal with haters or Facebook or whatever the excuse is. But I've lived about 29 years of my life without a whole lot of true friends. And during these dark times, I could really use some. But me being a shy, introverted freak, I don't know how to do that, because being an empath mixed with my introvertedness and my shyness, it makes a really thick-ass combination to reach out and ask for help, or to just say hi. But all this bullshit that my sister pulled last night, I'm not happy with her. It's actually a lot worse. I don't like her behavior. Either she needs to get her ass in gear bad, or she's going to get arrested and she's never going to become a mother again. I know no one chooses to become a mother. It happens. If you do happen to choose to become a mother, there's a good chance that you could become a mother. I don't know how I said that. I'm just confused by what I just said. I'm so tired. Anyway, so that's my vent for now. I'm sorry if this got a little dark or upsetting for some of you, but it's me. It's who I am. I bring realness to my vlogs, even if it's not the most prettiest of faces. Thank you all for listening. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. I'm just not feeling in a super happy mood right now, but don't worry, I will try to pull myself together by the end of this week. I need to do something. I'm starting to fall in that dark abyss again. I'm trying to be positive. It's really hard when I don't have a whole lot of... Even lately, I've just got done with my last... during the little barbecue I had at my aunt's, recently. I literally stayed at her house for 3 fucking days. And I was glad to be home. But, I don't know. That was the last time I got a drawing done. And I feel like it's been about almost a week and I haven't got no drawing done at all. And I want to get started on it because that's my only way to vent things. And I keep forgetting about that special place that you taught me. Anyway, I hope everyone has a nice night or a good morning. I hope to see you guys next time, alright? Bye.